Hello, and welcome back to the Taylor Seminars, where we talk about how Taylor Swift turns life into poetry. My name is Hannah, and I'm here with my co host, Exquisite. Hello.
Hello, Hannah. How are you?
A little bit different. So, dear listeners, if you are a regular listener, you'll be like, where has this episode been? And you might also be like, Hannah sounds different. And that's because we've had a bit of a change. I am currently in New York. And we've had to kind of try to figure out how to do this podcast from my laptop without my podcast equipment. The timing's all weird, but we really wanted to get this Elizabeth Taylor episode out to you guys. So we hope you will pardon our dust, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, just pardon. Give us some grace. There we go. That's
Grace.
the word. But today we're talking about Elizabeth Taylor. We're
And
talking about
what a
Elizabeth.
song.
What a song. What a woman.
Yeah. So Elizabeth Taylor is a very, very famous, some would say infamous in her
Mm-hmm.
time, actress, where she has been referenced in a Taylor song before. She was Burton to this Taylor, or he was Burton
Mm-hmm.
to this Taylor. And she basically was the star, the Hollywood starlet who was always in the papers,
Mm-hmm.
always on your screens, the topic of every conversation.
And
Anything to
also,
add?
one of the things people will say about Elizabeth Taylor, the woman, is that she was married like 7 times. One
Yeah,
time to
something
the
like,
same man twice, but like in a different row. And she was like this beautiful, beautiful actress. She had sometimes the lighting would make her eyes purple, and she would have the most pretty violet eyes you could ever
yep.
imagine. Um, and she just had so many spouses that so many people would like be like, oh, these are like the men. Like they would do this thing where they would make this joke that it's like Elizabeth Taylor Fortinsky, Warner, Burton, Fisher, Todd, Burton again, Wildling, Henson Jr. That would be like the joke that they would put at the end of Elizabeth Taylor's name. But at the end of the day, it's Elizabeth Taylor. Like she can do whatever she wants. Yeah, and Taylor she said she started writing the song because her parents sent her a video of Elizabeth Taylor's son being like, my mom, if she was like anybody in this current like stardom, she would be like Taylor Swift. Taylor
Yeah.
Swift reminds me of my mother. And Taylor was like, I was so inspired. I had to get out of the car and write that and sing it to myself. Um, yeah, we should also be saying Dame Elizabeth Taylor because she was knighted. So we should probably be saying that.
Oh, yeah. And there are a lot of Elizabeth Taylor references in this song. Shout out to friend of the podcast, Rob Sheffield. He did an
Mhm.
entire article where he gave all these little tidbits that I didn't know about. And we'll try to share as many of them as we can as we remember. And yeah, Taylor's track twos have always been phenomenal. And this just adds to that canon. It is written, produced by her, Max Martin, and Shellback. And it just starts with the name Elizabeth Taylor.
Do you think it's forever? That name is so funny because um I like, that there's that joke that's like, oh my gosh, my child's gonna be named after my favorite song, Tolerate It, Come Down for Dinner. I had planned to name my daughter Anna Elizabeth Taylor for like the past. My child's gonna be named after a Taylor Swift song that I really like. So now I am the meme. But yeah, there's something so satisfying about Elizabeth Taylor's name. It has like a nice rhythm to it. It's like 4 beats. It's so good. And Taylor's like,
Totally
yeah, let's
agree.
open that song right here. It's glitz, it's glam. Elizabeth Taylor, do you think it's forever? Like, we need to talk. I need to talk to you. You're the only one who understands.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and read a little bit of it. Um, we've done the intro, but Elizabeth Taylor, do you think it's forever? That view of Portofino was on my mind when you called me at the Plaza Athénée. Ooh, oftentimes it doesn't feel so glamorous to be me. All the right guys promised they'd stay. Under bright lights, they withered away. But you bloom. Portofino was on my mind, and I think you know why. You can read that
I
next
love
line.
this.
later with the chorus.
Yeah, I was literally about to go straight into it because it's, it's in my head. But I love the verse because, Hannah, I told you this the other day, reminds me of the first verse of Lavender Haze, of the staring at the
Yes.
ceiling with you, you don't say too much. You don't really read into my melancholia. And both of these songs are kind of like, yeah, the scrutiny. Elizabeth Taylor was the scrutiny. But here in this particular instance, she's not being allowed to sit in any melancholy because she's like starting to. She's like, doesn't feel so glamorous to be me. I'm looking outside. And then he calls her. He's like, yeah, we're going to talk. I don't know if he sensed that she was feeling sad. Maybe she had like sent a text that she was like just feeling a certain type of way. Maybe she sent a picture of the view or whatever. And she gets a call.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you don't know, the Portofino is a hotel. No, Portofino is a city in Italy, and the Hotel Plaza Athénée is in Paris. And Portofino was a place that Elizabeth Taylor loved to go to. It was like a celebrity hotspot, et cetera, et cetera. Taylor also kind of referenced this song. One of her vinyl was Portofino Orange Glitter. And so, yeah, she was so she was kind of thinking about this beautiful view of the Italian Riviera landscape when you called me. And so, I mean, to me, this kind of seems almost like a blend of Taylor Swift and Elizabeth Taylor, because was she actually, what did he actually call her at the Plaza Athénée? I don't know, maybe, but it does seem like they both have this kind of feeling of, are you the guy that's going to stay under these bright lights?
Exactly. And I love that because she was saying it doesn't feel so glamorous to be me. And she like followed up with, and it's because all the right guys promised they would stay. But the second like stardom and my own presence hit them, they just like crumbled under it. But you bloom. Like, that's so beautiful, but you bloom.
Yeah. And Taylor loves talking about flowers and nature. I mean, this reminds me of he was a hothouse flower to my outdoorsman, right? Using this flower imagery. But for you, you bloom even in these harsh, bright conditions, whereas someone else might need to be enclosed in a greenhouse and secluded somewhere else. And I
Yeah.
love
And
the
then
rhyme of Plaza Athénée and glamorous
I
to
know.
be nay.
I know, she's so funny. I love when she does her little forced rhyme because it works. It's all in the performance. It's all in the performance.
Yep.
Um,
What were you saying?
oh, I was just gonna say, and then she ends the line again with Portofino was on my mind, and I think you know why. Right after saying she bloomed, and was this like ever confirmed that Portofino was where Burton proposed to Taylor the first time?
Oh, I do not know. Oh, apparently, okay. This genius note says yes. It was on a terrace at the Hotel Splendido in Portofino where he proposed. Interesting. Yeah, and
So
I do think
there's
that
a,
it's
I
this.
think you know why. Like, we know where this is going, kind of thing.
Yeah. And I think it's just this. To me too. The view of Portofino was on her mind in a sad way, right? And then he called. And so now I feel like Portofino's on our mind in a happy way. I feel,
Yep,
to me, that's how the verse is kind of
exactly.
bookended by
I
that
agree.
same view.
It's and she does so much, and it's just the first verse, and then we get the amazing pre-chorus. And if your letters ever said goodbye, I'd cry my eyes violet. Elizabeth Taylor, tell me for real, do you think it's forever? Been number one, but I never had to, and I can't have fun if I can't have be my NY when Hollywood hates me. You're only as hot as your last hit, baby. Been number one, but I never had to, and I can't have fun if I can't have you.
When the beat dropped on this song, I screamed a little.
I wish I recorded my reaction to first hearing this because hello. And one of my favorite parts about this is for a long time, Taylor, when she has discussed maybe potential breakups in recent years, she
Hmm.
has been like, I'm never going to be able to do any of this again. I'm probably going to just jump off a cliff. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to go crazy. And here she's like, if you ever said bye to me, I would cry probably for a lot, and then I'd be fine. Of Elizabeth Taylor.
That's so
Like,
true.
it'd be good. I would just be really, I would be upset and I would be able to go on. Before she is like described like, if you ever walk away, I'm gonna beg you on my knees to stay. I'm going
Yeah,
to
or
like,
like I think about jumping off of tall somethings just to see you come
uh-huh.
running.
And here she's like, I don't need to do any of that. It would be sad if you left, but I'm still Elizabeth Taylor. Like, I'm gonna do what I want. But also the like Elizabeth Taylor on the hook is in reference to Taylor has blue eyes. If you cry a lot, your eyes turn red. So red plus blue equals purple. Purple eyes
Oh, I
also.
like that.
Um, but yeah, it's like, yeah, I just cry. And then it's also she's asking Elizabeth Taylor, she's like, tell me for real, do you think it's forever like this time?
Hmm.
So it's really interesting that she's both embodying herself as Elizabeth Taylor, but also like seeking her advice.
Yeah, I think that is so cool the way she's blending those two things. I mean, you can even also say she's addressing her lover, right? Tell me for real, do you think
Hmm.
it's forever? As either herself or Elizabeth Taylor. There's so many ways you can read into it. I like the she's talking to Elizabeth Taylor the best. That's usually what I default to, but she can be just asking those questions to anybody. And we know Taylor loves a good forever, right? Forever is the
Hmm.
sweetest one. Um, I'll how you get the girl, right?
Hmm.
Uh, uh how does it how does it go?
That's
I
how
love you
it
for
works.
worse or for better.
Yeah, I love you for worse or for better. I would wait forever and ever.
Yep, that's what I'm
Pump
saying. Like
my heart and put it back together. Like, I
I
don't
would
know.
wait forever and ever.
There's something about this. And this is how Taylor almost approaches every song on this album, where she is so confident. Um, and that like confidence comes to a head literally in Father Figure, but we'll talk about that. Where it's like this is a turn on that, but we'll talk about that later. But I just had to bring Father Figure up. But like so much of this is her being like, I know who I am. And it's funny because she gets to sing her own name all over the song too. Um,
Yeah.
she's like, I know who I am, and I've been number one. I can do like duh, been number one, as in I have been number one, but as in I'm number one for a long time. I
Yep.
have been number one. Like nobody else
And
has
we've
taken this
we've
spot.
wanted her to brag, so we love this.
Exactly. We've been begging, and I love that been number one, but I've never had to.
Yeah.
Never had somebody on this hilltop with me. Like
Yep.
nobody else gets it. They all wither away under the bright lights. Um so I think that's fun. I think that's fun. And she even says, I also think I can't have fun like that if I can't have you, because you're probably the only person who gets what it's like to be up on a hilltop. Maybe not the same as mine, but like we're equidistant, you know? Like we
Yeah.
can see each other from our mutual Mount Everest points.
Yeah. And then we have that great line, be my NY when Hollywood hates me. In the voice memo, she said, be my New York, but NY obviously works so much better because of the
Yeah,
the
it
my
sounds better.
NY. And I'm in NY, so yay. Be my
Mhm.
NY when Hollywood hates me. You're only as hot as your last hit, baby. I think that's such a great, like a
I love
perfect
that
Taylor
line.
Swift couplet. It's incredible. Yeah, and be my, and she loves New York. She sang about it, from False God to um Come Back Be Here to Maroon, right? New York is like her place. So and Taylor doesn't really like living in LA and the LA celebrity lifestyle. So it kind of works that way. It also works in the Elizabeth Taylor way when she was literally the starlet of Hollywood, but people love to hate her. Um,
Hmm.
and the "You're only hot as your last hit, baby" is something that is said to women in entertainment all the time. Like if you
Yep.
flop once, like it's over.
Yep. Yep. And also, I would just like to say, as the East Coaster in our East Coast West Coast podcast, um, I love that Taylor is also an East Coaster at heart and always
Yeah,
will be.
yeah.
Sorry, West Coasters. Um,
It's okay. She still loves us. She loves SoCal. She said so.
Whatever. East Coast supremacy. Anyway, but I love that she doesn't say I can't have fun first. Like, I love that it goes, been number one, but I've never had two, and I can't have fun if I can't have. And then she goes, be my NY, because it's almost like she's like, I can't have fun if I can't have, and she's like leaving it, it's hanging, and then she like admits, like, I can't have fun if I can't have you. It's very fun.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
yeah. Verse 2. Hey, what could you possibly get for the girl who has everything and nothing all at once? Babe, I would trade the Cartier for someone to trust. Just kidding. We hit the best booth at Musso and Frank's. They say I'm bad news. I just say thanks. And you look at me like you're hypnotized, and I think you know why.
This line is so funny. It's so comedic.
I think that's the thing that's underrated on this whole album is how almost every single song is funny. Like
She's
on purpose.
hilarious. And people, we've been saying literally when we started and we were talking about the Torture Pose department, we were like, a lot of people don't understand Taylor's humor. And
Mhm.
because of that, they don't get certain songs. And I'm like, this song is hilarious.
So funny.
Because it's so funny. The just kidding. She's like, actually, I'm rich. And
Yeah, like mm.
I wouldn't give up all my money. What?
And yeah. Well, going back a little bit, so what could you possibly get for the girl who has everything and nothing all at once? Which is crazy thing to say about yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but also in the Rob Sheffield article, he said that's like a reference to an Elizabeth Taylor film, which is
Mm-hmm.
insane. Like, of course she has that in her brain. And then the Musso and Frank's I knew was like a famous steakhouse or restaurant. Um, and that and like a booth is like a table but with like high seats, and so like you're kind of secluded. And they say I'm bad news, I just say thanks. That reminds me so much of the Albatross, this
I
idea that like
know.
everyone says she's gonna destroy you and she's evil, and at this point she's like, okay, like thank you, and then moves on.
Literally, it's so good because it's once again that confidence is seeping through. She's like, "Yeah, I am." And you
Yeah,
know this. And you knew the price going in. And she
yes,
goes, "I just say thanks," and you look at me like you're hypnotized.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, you're obsessed. You're obsessed with me,
yeah.
and boy, I understand.
And it is great. Like Elizabeth Taylor, also very alluring and attractive to men and women, right? Like have this
Mm-hmm.
magnetic draw. And so we have another of kind of the dual protagonists, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this second verse is it's so good. Because yeah, I think the and you is really
Yeah.
important because um that like 3/4 of that verse is all about how the world perceives her, but then it
Mm-hmm.
concludes with how you like what the way you look at me is what's important.
And I think you know why is also like because you know like it's again like you knew the price going in, but also you know what's under it. Like you know why you're looking at me like you're hypnotized. And
Hmm.
like not to go into the real world, but I will because of the podcast where Travis said, I saw you on stage and I was overcome with the need to know you. Like,
Yep,
yeah, he was looking at her like he was hypnotized. I mean, me too, Travis. You're not special. You just had the platform to
that's so funny.
but no, like and then it's mentioned like in all the articles that were like reviewing the Eras tour, it was like you are in the room and somehow she makes it intimate and you just
Yeah,
want to watch her and you're watching her on the stage even though you're with hundreds of thousands of other people. It's like, oh,
totally.
so
Oh,
good, so good.
all right, do it,
Um
Exquisite. The next one.
and
You can
if
at
you
least
ever
read it, and then you can do the we can go to the bridge too.
okay, and if you ever leave me high and dry, and then it's the same chorus.
Hmm.
And then the bridge is all my white diamonds and lovers are forever in the papers, on the screen, and in their minds. All my white diamonds and lovers are forever. Don't you ever end up anything but mine. Um, and the reason I giggle so bad at the and if you ever leave me high and dry, because I like to participate in my own misreadings or misunderstandings. Obviously, high and dry is like a phrase for someone who like leaves you abandoned. But I was
Yeah.
texting Hannah this the other day. It was like, oh, if you ever leave me like high as in drugs and dry as in the opposite of wet, like if the sex is bad, I will also be upset.
Um, that was such a crazy text to get. She's still cracking up,
Literally.
guys. The microphone won't pick up her. It's thinking that she's some kind of like high frequency pitch. She's laughing. I want you to
Oh
know.
my God. It's so funny. It's so funny because look, you're looking at me like you're hypnotized. I think you know why. We're both like really is it worse to say horny or worse to say aroused? We're both really aroused
Uh-huh.
high and dry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so sad.
Yep.
Okay, anyway, let's talk about that bridge because I love this bridge.
So that bridge. So yeah, a few background things. If you didn't know, White Diamonds by Elizabeth Taylor is one of like the most popular celebrity fragrances in history. So obviously we have this idea of like diamonds are forever, which is De Beers Diamond Company slogan. And I'm sorry if you hear some weird noise in the background. That is the refrigerator in my unit whirring.
Mm-hmm.
And then and also like the so yeah, we have diamonds are forever, lovers are forever, but it's also another Elizabeth Taylor reference. And I think that is so cool. What do you think about this bridge?
I love it because she does this thing where I love where Taylor kind of like twists things. So she goes, my white diamonds and lovers are forever. In the papers, yes, they're always going to talk about it. On the screen because it's been filmed. And for Taylor, the screen is also like her music. And in their mind. So she's like, it's one of those like, if you touch me, you will be immortal.
Yeah,
But
this
oh,
also
keep going,
reminds
keep
me
going.
of Lavender Haze in that way because of
Mm-hmm.
the get it off your chest, get it off my desk. Like it's gonna be there, right? Everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So they're going to talk about it. But then I love, she goes, don't you ever end up anything but mine? Because it's like, don't you like ever leave? But also, once you touch me, you're never not going to be mine again. Like, you're
Right.
always going to be a part of me. Um,
And my story, yeah. My legacy.
yeah, in
Well,
my
yeah.
story.
Yep.
Like, you will never be able to take yourself away from the fact that you once touched me. So you can either have this in a good way and you could just stay and be mine, or it's going to haunt you forever. Like, you'll smell white diamonds and be like, God damn it. Like, you're never going to be able to
Yeah.
hear, you're never going to be able to see anything because I'm immortal. And
Yep.
now you are too. Be this good or bad. And it could be very good for you. Like,
Yeah. It reminds me of like that Fleetwood Mac song, right? You'll never get away from the sound of the woman that loved you.
mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. I think that's this bridge where, yeah, like, if you think about it, people always bring up Taylor's exes. Like she doesn't have to talk about them anymore, but people will, right? In the papers, in the on YouTube video screens, right?
Mm-hmm.
In their muse, figuring out who the muses are and stuff. Like it's just it is what it is, and that's who I am. But you, right? You see the bright lights and you bloomed, which is crazy to
I
say.
know. It's such a sweet thing to say about somebody.
Yeah, because I think there is a little bit of that. I like what you said about her being confident in this relationship and in herself. But obviously there is a little bit of like hey, it isn't so glamorous to be me, and there is so much about my life that can make things so difficult. And she's talked about that fear before, like we said, Lavender Haze. But she's now like the albatross. She's like, you know what? It's fine.
Yeah,
They think I'm gonna destroy you, but I can spread my wings like a parachute and save you, right? We
exactly.
can ride this thing together,
Yeah.
and it can be fun.
Where Lavender Haze was kind of like a cope song, and we've talked about this where we've like joked that it's a cope song. Um, this song is like the opposite of coping because she is like, no, this is just how it is. I know how to control it, obviously. I know what I'm doing, like even though it doesn't feel glamorous all the time, I know what I'm doing. And she's like letting him know, like, you also knew the price going in, like, you know this. we know this, so don't end up anything but mine. And if you do leave, I will be sad, but like you're still gonna be mine. So
Yeah.
really, who won? Who's
And
gonna
I really
win?
think the don't you ever end up anything but mine really puts the ball back in his court, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna beg you on my knees to stay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna be like, oh no, poor me. Who am I gonna settle with? Like you're gonna have to stand what's that line in Peace? Like, but the rain's always gonna come when you're standing with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this one's like, well, it is what it is. You
Like,
so
yeah,
figure it
you saw
out.
the rain on the horizon. I saw the rain on the horizon. And it's very like, did Taylor say, I think she said this was one of the first songs they wrote. Um, and to me, that makes sense in the sense of that, like, she's like, okay, we're both going into this, and I'm not anxious about it. I'm aware of what could happen, but this could be forever. Do you think it's
Yeah.
forever? Because I like the do you think it's forever? And then the my lovers are forever. So if
Yeah.
you're gonna be my lover, no, you're gonna be forever with me. Like the it is us, our relationship, but also like your name, my name, connected.
Mm, cool. Well, any final thoughts about this song? We did everything, right? Yeah, because it's a chorus again and then the outro again. Oh,
Mhm.
one thing I wanted to say, the cabaret version is incredible.
Her vocals go crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I do love the production of this. We talked about the beat drop, but also it just sounds expensive. It sounds like Elizabeth
Mhm.
Taylor, glitz, glam, diamonds, makeup, hair, everything. And yeah. Any final thoughts from you?
Mm. All I can say is I really enjoy this song, and my boys cannot stop singing it. He's obsessed with it. He's 9, and I've seen a lot of little kids love Elizabeth Taylor. Let me tell you, it's so cute to hear a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old sing "That View of Portofino" was oh my god. They don't even know what they're saying. It's
And
so
just
funny.
so
What do you know about
if you are
Portofino?
just joining us, those are not Exquisite's actual children. She is a nanny.
Those are my actual children, actually, Hannah.
Oh,
I gave
oh,
birth. Um, no, I had a 9-year-old. I mean, I could possibly have a 9-year-old right now.
you could. I'm just saying.
I was 16. But no, no,
I
no.
don't want
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's funnier to have some ambiguity.
sure. Yeah. Um, I will say this is I think a standout track on this album, and I like there's like
Yep.
so many tweets that are just like, do you ever just suddenly go Elizabeth Taylor?
It's literally, you
And
could
yeah,
say, it's forever in our minds, if you will. Because yeah, I also love
yeah,
when Taylor's like, yeah, they're always going to be thinking about me. This is a Tay Alpha track. Um,
it
it's
is.
the beginning of a Tay Alpha run on the album.
Yeah, yeah. I really like that you said that because she is really in control and like, I'm famous and you deal with it.
Yeah, and it's very interesting for us to go with these in control tracks of Elizabeth Taylor and then Opalite and then Father Figure, like these very much like I know how to handle things and how to figure out when things like Opalite is the like this isn't really a big deal. We're just gonna keep going. Um, and then Father
Mhm.
Figure is like the ultimate like I'm in control here. To go, they I'm not always in control,
Oh,
but
wait,
I
say
will.
that again. You glitched out a little bit. What did you just
Oh,
say?
I said to eldest daughter, which is like, I'm not
Yeah.
always in control, but we can share this kind of vulnerability together. And then she's like, this is my vulnerable moment. Okay, back to being in control again. And it doesn't feel like she doesn't believe she's in control because we have had Taylor out of control and Taylor where it's like, oh, the power dynamics of your last relationships are maybe not what people would think they were. Um,
Yeah.
um, and that's probably what throws people for a loop a lot of the times. But I just think that's so interesting. I think that's what's interesting about this album. And Taylor has said like albums are a mirror. And I do think that for a lot of people who are like just not having a good time right now, that when they're approached with an album that is just having a good time and isn't really like it isn't really trying to do too much, and in the sense of like there's a lot going on in this album, but it's also like there's a lot of joy and like infectious joy.
Yeah.
That for a lot of people who just don't want to experience that right now, they'll get the album in like 5 years.
I do feel like she was making a very strong statement, the first 3 tracks on this album being love songs. Like, if you weren't sure, I am in love and I'm doing great. Right. We'll definitely talk more about the love in Opalite because it gets to like a whole other level. And then from track 4, we get more of like a storytelling and like obviously love songs also baked in. But the first 3 tracks are very clear. Like, I just want you to like, I don't want any of you to be confused. I'm in a good place right now. So,
yeah. What's our emoji, Hannah?
That's a great question. I mean, Elizabeth Taylor does have diamonds, so I feel like a diamond is a really good one.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay. I think that's good too.
Yeah, a little diamond. There's we are so glad. We are going to work out some more kinks to make sure that you guys get the best quality that you can of these episodes, but we're going to do our best, and we'll be back next time with Opalite. I'm so excited.
All right. We're literally going to be dancing to the lightning strikes with these current with the way we're doing recording right now.
Oh my gosh, for real. We're doing it. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.